Okay,
I'm taking Deputy Pringle's
question 90.
And with the Minister's permission, I incorporate my own because, of course, we're talking about the same issue. Now, Deputy Pringle asked about the plans in place for the development of Letterkenny Institute of Technology, but obviously that's in the context of the submission for the Connacht Ulster Alliance, so which includes Sligo IT, GMIT and LIT. So just to ask the Minister for the most up-to-date timeline as to what's happening.
I thank Deputy Harkin. I want to acknowledge on the record of this House her support and advocacy about the importance of a technological university for the North West. It will be an issue of concern to Deputy Conway Walsh as well. I do need to be careful what I say because I understand there's a TUI ballot about to conclude, but I would be hopeful, and not preempting any outcomes of any ballots, but I would be hopeful to receive an application for a technological university for the North West, the Connacht Ulster Alliance application, very, very shortly and potentially in the coming days. I know there's been a massive amount of work undertaken. What I would propose to do, if and when I receive that application, I will obviously publicly acknowledge that we've received the application. I would then propose to meet on a cross-party, all-party basis all Oireachtas members from the region within the coming days. So let's wait and see when the application comes in. It's up to the consortium to submit the application. When it arrives, I'll note that publicly, and then I'll move in the coming days to meet with the Oireachtas members from the region to update you on that and the next steps. There's a very specific and prescribed number of actions that have to take when an application comes in. Ultimately, the Minister of the day receives the application, and an international independent panel gets appointed to assess that application. We've a template now because we're going through quite a few of these. So that's the current and most up-to-date position. In relation specifically to Deputy Pringle's inquiries regarding Letterkenny, I am pleased to inform the Deputy that there are 3 Exchequer-funded projects in the pipeline which will significantly enhance higher education infrastructure in Letterkenny Institute of Technology and support the development of the planned new technological university for the West North West. Refurbishment and upgrade works to the main Letterkenny IT building on the Killybegs campus have been approved and are underway, with phase 1 and 2 of the project complete, and phase 3 expected to be on site early this summer. The upgrade work will support the long-term sustainability of the Killybegs campus. There's a major new library, ICT and education building also planned, and Letterkenny Institute of Technology was also one of the 8 institutions approved in 2020 to progress a project under the Energy Efficiency and Decarbonisation Pathfinder programme.
Thank you, Minister. A lot of information, 2 minutes. Well, as you said, we're in the final stages. The TUI is voting at the moment. Nobody wants to preempt that, but we can all be hopeful that we will have white smoke perhaps by tonight or tomorrow morning. And it's my understanding the 3 governing bodies will meet tomorrow, if we have that, to submit their application. So I suppose what I wanted to ask you is in the context of St Angela's. Assuming that application goes ahead, we have a memorandum of understanding between IT and St Angela's. Can you give us any indication as to when you'll be in a position to give your approval that St Angela's can now be incorporated into Sligo IT, because obviously part of the submission on CUA includes the possibility of St Angela's emerging with Sligo IT?
Minister.
Yeah, so certainly not being coy in relation to the timeline for the application, but just what you've said tallies with what I know, but I just want to be respectful. I want to be respectful of the processes, but as soon as we receive the application, we'll move very quickly. In relation to St Angela's in Sligo, I've had some excellent meetings with St Angela's, with the President of St Angela's, with the President of Sligo IT and others. Really welcome the very close work going on there between the 2 institutions. I quite frankly think St Angela's has been left hanging far too long, far too long, if I may use that phrase, and it's really important to me that they are incorporated. It's clear to me that there's synergies between Sligo and St Angela's. The specific timeline as to when that happens, Deputy Harkin, is a matter for the institutions and ultimately the technological university. So I've provided a lot of assistance, a lot of engagement with officials. I'd like to see it happen. Whether it can happen before the technological university is designated or not is kind of a matter for on the ground. I've no difficulty if it does. I'd very much welcome if it can, but as I've said before, nothing is going to stop or delay the advancement of the technological university, and I know that's a view shared by St Angela's as well. So I suppose I'm very happy for them to get on with it, quite frankly, and I know they're working extremely hard in relation to that.
Thank you, Minister. And again, thank you for saying that there will be a cross-party approach to this, all Oireachtas members, because everyone is on the same footing here. Everybody recognises the potential, the huge potential that a CUA alliance could realise for the region. Now, you say that you obviously, in regard to St Angela's, the timelines you can't be clear on. I understand that, but it's really positive to hear that you feel that it has a huge role to play and that it can be part of it. Just one final issue, Minister, without wanting to raise sort of any concerns. If we have a situation where not all 3 campuses vote in favour, is it possible that 2 can go ahead with the submission? Has this happened in the South East? I'm just not sure about that. And I'm not asking you what will happen. I'm just simply asking you what's possible.
Thank you, Deputy Minister.
Yeah, I'd be very careful to answer that question because of the sensitivities. So, I mean, staff engagement and buy-in to these processes is vital. You are factually correct to say in the South East, the TUI ballot did not pass in Waterford, did pass in Carlow, and the application was still submitted by the consortium. That would ultimately be a decision for governing authorities in relation to any technological university. So yes, that is an open question. But we will certainly proceed, Las Ciancorla, on a cross-party basis. It has been key to the success and the delivery of these projects, and I've worked extremely closely right across the country with people on a cross-party basis, and I thank you for taking that approach in the North West as well.